and welcome back to my Let's Play of Persona 5 New Game Plus. And it is the 20th of April. Sorry, trying to work out what the 4th month is. And so this is going to be the last day before we enter the palace. We're going to enter the palace, I believe, on the 21st. So before that, we're going to do a bit more sort of chatting around school. One of the things you can do is obviously chat to Kamoshida, as I currently am now, and he's not too fond of that. But also, we're going to explore a bit more of Shibuya, again, listening on conversations throughout there. And we're going to look at ways of earning a little bit of cash in the game by namely doing some part-time jobs. And so that's going to be some of the majority of what we're aiming for here. So as we continue to listen in on different conversations, something that came up there also was, you saw that we couldn't go see Ryuji. We can't hang out with our confidants whenever we want. It always requires them to actually, be available for that. And obviously we do find out, you'll get messages on your phone, or you can check the map and the little blue symbols tell you when your confidants are available, especially which confidants are available in which area. But in general, you need to therefore think about it, And some of the confidants have regular patterns. So for example, Ryuji is usually free most days, but you can't see him within 2 days, I think, of having seen him previously, or maybe within 1 day of having seen him previously. There's a lot of sort of detail that I think is quite difficult to see, that isn't always fully present there. So as you can also see, it is raining, and raining is quite interesting in this game because the weather does have some minor effects. I think I was looking initially here to see if there was people outside the school to listen in on, but because it's raining, they're not hanging outside, as would make sense. But yeah, the rain actually can have some pretty significant effects on what you can do, especially when it comes to the activities that you do for your social link stats. Specifically, it affects you whenever you do some studying, and it also affects if you go on the right day to the bathhouse. Both of which I think aren't they're not quite open to us yet, in terms of the actual game, just because we're so early, and so they're really drip feeding us things to do at the moment. We don't want to overwhelm us, and certainly by the end it can be a little overwhelming, but as long as you're actually pretty efficient with knocking out the stuff when you can do it. So for example, here we're going to be pushing through Ryuji's confidant link, through Takemi's confidant link somewhat, through through the confidant links that you get early. We'll be pushing through those quite quickly in order to not need to be worrying about them when our schedule becomes a lot busier later on, when we've got so many more confidant links to worry about. So here we're going to start ringing up about the part-time jobs. There are 3 different part-time jobs that you can take on, and they each have their own sort of role within the story, such that if you want to 100% everything within the game, you need to have done you need to have spent multiple times at each of the jobs. Now, the flower shop we can do because it's available both day and night. The convenience store is only available during the day, and the beef bowl shop is only available at night. And because it's in Shibuya and we're not allowed out of the house yet, we can't do that job now, so we're not going to take it on. The different jobs give you different amounts of money, and then actually within those little sections, there are also little mini events that can occur throughout the jobs that you can then utilize to earn even more money. So there are certain things that you can do in order to get a bit of a bonus for how much money that you're earning, which is quite a nice little touch as well, I think. But they do all have their role, and whilst we will be doing a lot of the jobs at the moment, because they're sort of, as I say, we will eventually have to do them in order to 100%, and because there's not an awful lot for us to do on a day-to-day basis at the moment, it makes sense for us, because, and obviously if we were actually playing this for the first, if we were going by a really efficient playthrough, we would probably be using this time in order to build up our social link stats. That's exactly what you should be doing right now. But because we have maxed social link stats, we don't need to worry about that so far. And instead, we can really look at pushing on and doing some of these other parts of the game. So the other benefit of the stores is that both the Beef Bowl shop and the flower shop are ways that you can increase your social stats. The flower shop allows you to increase your kindness, whilst the Beef Bowl shop allows you to increase your proficiency. And as I've mentioned before, both of those, kindness and proficiency will be roadblocks in the end, not necessarily straight away, it's relatively later on in the game, but they are roadblocks in terms of getting confidants all the way to where you want them to be, completing those confidant links. And at one point I will eventually be able to describe all of what goes on with regards to the stats, but we will do that at another time, as we are approaching our first job. So we're going to take a job at the flower shop, and I will see you afterwards for a very quick message.
Next. Hey! Good work. How are you feeling?
All right.
Want to head back? Nice.
So that message there from Sojiro is pretty much telling us that we can start his confidant link now, and that is what we will do. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you will join me on the next.
Yo. Hey, how's school? You're not causing any trouble, are you? Good. I've got to report to your probation officer twice a month. It's already a pain in the ass as is, so please don't make me have to write even more crap. Got that? This society is kept in check by laws and authority figures. You can go and get yourself killed if you want, but don't go dragging other people into this. The last thing we need is more idiots like you roaming around. What's wrong? Yeah, I'm heading out now. Sorry about that. I know. The usual, right? Okay. I'll see you later. As you can see, I'm pretty damn busy both at work and in my private life. If you could lend a hand, it'd really be a great help. Now we're talking. Either way, I won't ask you to work for free. If you agree to help me, then I'll teach you how to make the perfect cup of coffee. Not a bad trade, eh? All right. Looks like we got ourselves a deal.
You may call yourself a phantom thief, but you're still a minor. Someone had to support you. Furthermore, they did so knowing you were a part of that group. Isn't the owner of that cafe an accomplice of yours?
I am thou. Thou art I. Thou hast acquired a new vow. It shall become the wings of rebellion that breaketh thy chains of captivity. With the birth of the Hierophant persona, I have obtained the winds of blessing that shall lead to freedom and new power.
All right.
I'll be counting on your help. See you later.